Sony will never recover from this. I do think this is the moment where the entire gaming industry is going to turn its back on Sony. There's no real recovery from taking away people's purchase content. No matter the justification or no matter the rationality, like PlayStation has lost all respect from their customers. Like, this is a demonstration of how tepid the situation is when it comes to ownership of digital media. Like, when you have these companies who can just try and take them away from you in a desperate attempt to try and get you to pay for it again. Okay? Like, they don't like the fact that you can watch the movie you paid for, whatever you want. Like, you have to pay for it every time you want to see it. Like, you have to do it this way. And it's not true, and there are ways around that. And companies are just really struggling with like the reality that more and more people are moving back to physical because streaming is showcasing a ton of problems that weren't immediately obvious. Like, for example, delisting things, not having everything available on one service, requiring multiple subscriptions, right? Everybody's looking at like the current ecosystem and they're just like, I would rather pay like a one-time fee for like a physical copy of a movie so I can own it and watch it at home than like deal with these subscription services. And that's what they're doing. Like I've actually been looking at like, doing that more with classic films. That's not something that like came about overnight, but like when I look at like my Prime Video collection, when I look at like what these films are doing, when I look at like what what we can expect out of the industry going forward, like it's very obvious to me that like these digital purchases at some point are going to replace physical media. Companies are going to force you to pay more, and they're going to force you to renew your license. So they're going to take away your digital media with no warning in an attempt to get you to pay more to get it back, essentially. And of course, the entire industry is up in arms about this. Nobody likes this, but like what I find interesting is that it's Sony PlayStation doing this. That like not Prime Video or Netflix or like any of these other like major streaming platforms. It's like Sony. Like Sony was the one who came out and decided to be anti-consumer about this and trying to like screw over their customers. And it just goes to show you just how out of touch they are, where they thought this was a good idea. Because, I'm certain that Prime Video and like all these other services, they want to go digital only, they want to do it, but they understand that it's not really practical. They understand like the ramifications of what they're going to do and how it's going to like affect their bottom line. And so they decided to not do it. Like they understand that it would be great if they could get away with it, but it's also not tenable. It's not doable. Sony tried to do it. Sony tried to pull it off, and it just led to them, like, just with egg on their faces, getting positively felted. Okay, they have gotten completely and utterly wrecked because of this. And I think they've kind of set precedent where film enthusiasts are, much like vinyl owners, are going to start collecting their things physically again. Okay, it's becoming obvious that Blu-ray as a format is not going anywhere. And people would rather buy a film once and keep it on a shelf than they would like having to rely on like a variety of subscription services. Like it just makes more sense to do it that way, especially if you're a fan of the product to begin with. Like, why exactly would I subscribe to any of these services that never have anything I want to watch when I could just buy the things I want to watch physically, right? And they definitely try to like to skirt around these kind of situations. They try and like not make things available physically, and they try to incentivize you to subscribe. But like, other than Netflix, I don't really think that like most companies can get away with that. But, like, because most of them have bent the knee and started re-releasing things physically a long time ago, and it just feels like this format is becoming more popular again. We're starting to see that more people are like waking up to the reality that these series, like streaming services, are unreliable, And it's something that we do need to set in stone. Like, we need to prevent companies from pulling this kind of nonsense going forward. If you buy a film, you own it. You can watch it whenever you want, right? Obviously, that doesn't give you the right to like redistribute it or like, pirate, upload it online or anything like that. But like, there's already protections in line for, in place for that, right? Like, if you buy a movie, you should be able to watch it whenever you want. This is not a complicated concept, okay? But the industry just doesn't want you to be able to do that. They want to nickel and dime you for whatever they for everything they can get away with, and in the end, it is going to completely destroy their industry. Like, all they would really need to do to get more people to engage with their products is to produce better films. And the simple reality is that that's the last thing they want to do. They want to produce like the cheapest, like safest slop imaginable and have you pay for the privilege of watching it, essentially. Like, that's what we're seeing. That's what this is resulting in. That's the issue. That's the problem that we're seeing with like all these companies and all these brands, is that like they're not interested in quality products. They just want to they just want your money. And it's something that we absolutely should reject going forward. It's something that we should acknowledge. It's something that's like causing problems. It's something that's like destroying like the industry. And like, I'm curious how this is going to affect like the gaming side of things, because this was a movie issue. But if if PlayStation was the one to do it, it speaks volumes about what they're going to do with video games, especially as they've already confirmed that the PS6 is not going to feature a disc drive at all and be a digital only console. They are desperate to get people to adopt this new format so they can have more control over your game, so they can delist old stuff and they can keep you paying for things. It's kind of remarkable where we're at now. Like, and hilariously, cartridges have outlasted discs for video games, because the Switch 2 has made no attempt at replacing the cartridge compared to like PlayStation's disc replacement plan. What we're seeing now is just a complete and total collapse of Sony as a brand. It's not just PlayStation, it's like the entire giant corporation. Like, this is going to be a death blow to everything that this company tried to accomplish over the past 30 years, okay? The slow, gradual decline of Sony is here, and there's no possible way for them to crawl out of it. It is embarrassing to see how desperate the masses were in downplaying this situation.